What's up, guys? Welcome back to Crypto Daily. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to start by talking about the market as always. It's looking really strange at the moment. I think we're in a place where I would call it the calm before the storm. Very calm. I'll talk about why. Currently, Bitcoin Cash is trading at 12.5% of what a Bitcoin is worth. Will it go higher? Will it go lower? Who's supporting it? Who's behind it? We'll talk about that. Who are Aventus and why I'm excited about their ICO? I think you'll like this one. Okay, so have a look at this. Look at Bitcoin's growth in the last 24 hours. 0.08%. Have you ever seen such a straight line? Basically nothing's happened in the last 24 hours. It is rock steady. I think people are just bracing themselves. I feel like we're potentially in the eye of the storm, right? Because there's this huge tornado coming. It was tearing the ground up and it came towards us, and Bitcoin's price was falling and we were going through all this trouble and this scary mess, and now we're in the middle of it and it's eerily quiet. People are not sure what to do, but it's not the end of it. We're about to hit the storm again as it passes. And I like this analogy because we don't know what we're going to see when we come out of the end of this tornado. What is the landscape going to look like? It could look like a lot better. Could be smooth sailing to 3K USD for a Bitcoin, or it could look a mess where things don't recover, Bitcoin comes falling down, no one's sure about what to do with Bitcoin Cash, it's up and down, and we're set back months. Because eventually we'll recover, because cryptocurrency is here to stay. But what kind of short-term damage could this cause? We're not sure. We'll need to see when we come out at the end of that tornado. But yeah, just having a look at this, 0.2% growth for Litecoin, 1.63 Ripple. Look at QTUM, 0.01. It's like CoinMarketCap had to give it a figure, right? It had to give it something. It couldn't just say 0. So I had to say 0.01. Or Vertasium though, up from about 250. Down and down and down. 130 now. Wow. But here's something I wanted to mention. Some of these prices are wrong. Let's take, for example, Coin. We can see the US dollar value. However, that's not correct. If you're going to buy this, you don't buy it in dollars, you buy it in Bitcoin. So if you have a look at this chart here, you can actually see you've got this weird thing going on where when Bitcoin falls, everything else is kind of delayed and it falls as well. Then when Bitcoin rises, it's like a string. Everything's tied to it. When it pulls up, there's a little bit of a delay, but everything else goes up as well. Now, because everything's moving towards Bitcoin, we've got this strange thing happening here where the USD is showing a price higher than it's actually worth, because you have to look at the Bitcoin value, which is lower. So some of these coins are as cheap as they've ever been. You just need to look at the Bitcoin price and not the US dollar, because that's lying to you for some of these. So Bitcoin Cash is trading at 360 per one, which is a bit up from what I said at the beginning of this video. It's around 13-14% of what a Bitcoin's worth. It is quite a fair amount. I do expect that number to fall on August 1st, definitely. Then I don't know how far it will fall, and I don't know how long it will take before it goes back up again. Bitfinex will list Bitcoin Cash as BCH, not BCC. I'm not sure where the H comes from. I think they're referring it to Bitcoin hard fork. They're trying to avoid confusion with Bitcoin. I think a lot of these exchanges just don't know what to do. We've never had it before where there's been a fork that created two of the same coins. We've had forks before, but never this kind of fork. A lot of people are learning what they need to do. I mean, you can see it in this post itself on CoinDesk. They're talking about a tech bottleneck that this is causing because there's so many people that don't know what to do with it. Shapeshift plans to turn off trading on August 1st for an unspecified amount of time and didn't even confirm if they plan to list Bitcoin Cash. That means they don't even know. We're days away from its launch. BitPay said it believes there should be no chain split and no disruption in service. So they're not even acknowledging its existence right now. Bitstamp, one of the world's largest Bitcoin exchanges, stated in vaguer terms that it will not be in a position to support the altcoin. They even went as far as to email customers saying, we may never support any new version and any value it could have could be potentially lost to you, which is their way of saying it's definitely gone, which some people see as a form of fraud, that they've got your private keys, they're using it, they're effectively stealing your coins. I guess it is, but is it really fraud if a thief approaches you and says, if you give me that camera, I'm going to steal it, and then you turn around and say, hey, can you take my picture for me? And then he says it again, okay, but if you do, I'm going to run away with it. And you're like, thanks. I think that's kind of the example what we're talking about here. So there are questions about how decentralized Bitcoin Cash is going to be, because it's not like a lot of miners are behind it. And I'll show you what I mean. This post, I think, is satirical, but it kind of gets a point across. The hash rate distribution for Bitcoin Cash, 100% Bitmain. which is a Chinese mining company. So it doesn't look very good at the beginning, at the start at least. But there are some commenters saying that's just what it is now, and other coin miners will be attracted to the market for the potential profits. And I agree with that. And I think that if you build it, they will come. If there's money to be made, people will come. Slush Pool, a huge mining pool, one of the first, says they don't really see any demand for Bitcoin Cash, so they're not planning to support it, and they're calling for other people to stay rational, suggesting that you're delusional to start mining a Bitcoin altcoin. Even Bitmain, which at the moment owns all of the mining support for Bitcoin Cash, has stated that they plan to uphold the SegWit 2x agreement, including the 2 megabyte block size increase in November. They are, though, open to supporting Bitcoin Cash in the future, it says here, obviously. Via BTC is one of the pioneers of the project, yet they're trying to say they're neutral and they are not going to openly mine towards it, but they will offer their users a chance to do so if they wish. So currently the future of Bitcoin Cash is kind of murky, doesn't seem too good at the start. It's not easy. There's few companies, a few developers, and a few mining pools that actually plan to use it long term, at least at the moment. But people can definitely use Ethereum Classic as an example of something that does still retain value even after losing the majority of its support base, its developers. I mean, just look at it. It's number 6, Ethereum Classic, at 1.3 billion. 5, 6, or 7% of Ethereum's value. So that's why I'm quite confident in saying that Bitcoin Cash will be anywhere between 5 and 20% of Bitcoin's value. 20% being potentially a higher valuation, higher top end. I just don't see it going anywhere beyond that. But even at 20%, that is quite a bit of money. So what is Aventus? Now, I'm not paid to make this video, just a full disclosure. I first learned about Aventus a few weeks ago when they were planning to do their first ICO, which was actually postponed until late August, early September. And for more information, you can click here. But basically, it was a very good decision. It was just the absolute worst time to do an ICO. And you could see it happen to a few other companies that were having ICOs during the time. A couple weeks back when SegWit didn't have miner support or didn't have the 80% threshold, and Bitcoin was just tanking and tanking. There were some ICOs, I think, which were only open for a few days during the worst period of Bitcoin in the last year. Basically didn't sell anything. So an absolutely right decision to make. It would have been nice to get some cheaper deals, but there you go. I can definitely understand from the marketing aspect why they needed to do that. They're actually planning to raise $150 million, which is quite a lot. $150 million would put them at around the number 32 spot on the top 100 cryptocurrencies. Coming out swinging basically is their goal. Now, how can they have this outlandish ambition? Well, they've actually got a really good idea. So currently in the UK, there is an industry worth around £1 billion a year for reselling tickets. Now, if you've been to a concert within the last couple of years, you'll know how difficult it is to get tickets to very popular shows, concerts, events. Basically, what's going wrong is that there are bots that buy out as many tickets they can as fast as they can as soon as they go live. What this means is the people that are wanting to pay the real price for a ticket, suddenly they're sold out. They're forced to go to third-party websites to buy a ticket. For example, they really want to see Justin Bieber. They're not going to let this opportunity pass. So they go to these websites and they pay exorbitant prices to go and see him. Now, the industry wants to tackle this problem because it's not good for consumer trust. It's not good for anyone apart from the bot makers. So there were some thoughts about potentially making a ticket only valid on a certain person's phone. However, the problem that quickly came up is that if you're buying a ticket that's £20,000 to go and see UFC fight for Conor McGregor, to sell a £100 phone isn't that big of an issue. If you buy the ticket, they can just send you the phone with the ticket on it. So that wasn't a real solution. What Aventus does is it plans to do the same thing but with a blockchain. What advantages does a blockchain bring? Well, they are claiming it practically eliminates fraud and unregulated touting, which is just what I was explaining. They're also claiming managers and organizers can promote their events and tickets with a dramatically reduced platform cost. This is how it works. You would buy a ticket, it would get sent to you on the blockchain. Now, the thing about a blockchain is that your identity is not sellable. People know who you are, and that ticket is sent to you, and you can't transfer it anywhere else. So if you were to buy 10,000 tickets, like some of these bots, they would get 10,000, and they can't transfer them. They essentially can only go to the gig, use the Aventus app, and still have 10,000 tickets. So they say, okay, you can sit wherever you like. If a bot tried to buy 10,000 tickets, he could not sell them all. That's what a blockchain provides. That is tackling a £1 billion industry in the UK alone every year. This is exactly something that I like to invest in. I like things that have use cases. I don't like a Bitcoin clone. I don't like some ICO that has an idea for a blockchain and randomly creates a cryptocurrency for it as well when you don't actually need the coins. They're not actually useful for anything. And that happens all the time. There are really good ideas, but they're wanting to cash in and create a cryptocurrency for it. You just don't need them. So that's what I really like about Aventus. However, they are not without their competitors. So another company aiming to do the same thing is known as TicketChain. They're an island-based company. What TicketChain plans to do is to pilot their system, which is much the same as Aventus, using students in the Trinity College Dublin to operate ticketing for some of its events, as well as running tickets for local boxing academy. They plan to do it from September to March, potentially handling around 6,500 participants. So basically from there, they would test the platform. If they can prove that it works, they can go and sell their ideas to other bigger promotional companies and say, hey, look, this is the use case. We've proven it works. Join up with us. Let's all make some money. However, I think Aventus has the edge, simply being a US-based company, and they have signed on with Blue Horizon Entertainment in the time that we've had the delay. They haven't been resting on their laurels since their ICO got delayed. They've signed on with this company, and they plan to have a testing late 2017 in London, where they plan to manage an event where there'll be anywhere between 10 to 15,000 attendees to test the protocol. So they'll also be able to do the same thing. Very interesting projects. I will likely update you guys with more information when the ICO is coming up. I'll talk about what I plan to do with it closer to the time. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you guys for 40 subscribers. I just made a video thanking everybody for 20. So 40 it's really nice. It makes me very happy to see that people are not only listening to what I've got to say, but supporting me as well. So thank you all very much. If you're new to the channel, I just want to reiterate a couple things. You probably already know this. If you don't control your private keys before August 1st, for example, you've left your Bitcoin on an exchange, get it off there. Get control of your private keys. I don't want you missing out on potential. It's not exactly free money, but you could lose out on some money if you don't. If you use Coinbase, I think they've set a final deadline of around 12 p.m. the day before August 1st. You've got until then to get them off the exchange or Coinbase, whatever. Get them into a wallet where you control the keys. The best is Trezor or the Ledger Nano S, but if you don't have one of them, you can use Exodus. It does allow you to have control over your private keys. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you again for listening. Thank you again for subscribing. I will see you guys in the next one.